So what we have in front of us is a typical Rhino, and it's magnetized. The doors just come off and go on. We can change the Rhino into a Predator if we need to, for this exact same reasons. The doors come off and sponsons can go on in place. Like that. So we have our typical Rhino. What I would like to do is find a way to make it a little bit more intimidating. So what we're going to do today is we're going to kit bash up a corpse catcher to put on the front of it. So right now this prow bar weapon thing here is magnetized on. It can come on, it can go off. But what I'd like to do is put something a little bit more intimidating than that on the front of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to build something out of the Vampire Count's corpse cart. Now, we'll actually build two of them, and we'll have two matching rhinos. I got the idea for this from a website online, but that website seems to be gone. So we're going to kind of wing this from our memory. First thing we're going to do in any case where we're going to kit bash something onto an already magnetized model is we're going to put magnets on the model so we know what sides we want out. And then we're going to mark them so later we know what sides to glue to our model. The next thing we're going to do is start to build this corpse cart. And the directions could be better, but we'll make do with it. It's plastic model, so it's very easy to put together, and plastic glue will work. But effectively what we want is this ram scoop and a body of corpses to put in it, like so, with any extra little details and things like that. And then what we're going to end up doing is magnetizing that, reinforcing the base with probably the sides of the sprue, and magnetizing that to the front of the Rhino, like so, holding our scary corpses and other disgusting stuff there. And then we'll save the rest of the pieces for another kit bash I have planned later. And there's a little guy on here. We'll probably end up using him with our Dark Apostle and Dark Little Priests. We'll use them for that kit. These we'll probably use as corpses as well. So we've got most of the pieces apart. We've already built the little witch lady that was on the side there. We're going to use her as an accompany to the Dark Apostle, a little Dark Disciple. So we'll mount her on a base and we'll deal with that. We cut her. She was holding a spear of some sort. So we just cut the spear off. And then what we did was we just shaved down and made her pointing, and that's about as good as that's going to get. Then what we did is we cut out the zombies themselves, or the corpses. They mount in between each other. Just like that. And that's going to cause us a problem as well, because when they mount together, that guy's head right here is on one piece, but his neck is on the other piece right there. So as you can see, we're going to have to replace both that head as well as this person over here has the same issue with this head right there being removed from this body over here. So we'll have to find some two proxy heads to put onto those two pieces, but we'll do that as we go. We cut free the railings, and they tend to fit through here. And that type of system there. One on either side, and then they mount to the base that goes under, which we're not going to use. So effectively we've got one set of corpses here, we've got one set of corpses here, which are going to mount through there, And then those are going to mount onto the front of the Rhino. So all we have to do is fix the mounting, fix the angle so they do slop up against it, and we'll be almost ready to go here. So in order to build up the base of that, what we need is a few pieces on here. So we've cut a couple of pieces of these sprues, which we're going to glue in place and thicken that up so that there's room to put these corpses on. So we'll do that now, and then we'll meet back here in a few more moments. So in the end, it looks like what we needed was one of those bars cut into a triangle and then glued on, and that created the angle we needed for the magnets. And then I added a second bar on the top just for extra support and strength, because once we mount magnets on here, that's going to have to hold all the way to the whole structure. At this point now, the zombies fit in quite nicely. We're using this one for now. So at this point here, the zombies with the legs hanging out and the heads hanging off fit in quite nicely. So now it's going to be a matter of mounting the magnets and then setting the zombies up so they fit where we want them to sit. And then filling in the rest with extra corpses, arms, and legs, and replacing the heads. So now we're just working on filling in some of the gaps. There's another zombie here that's in charge of pulling the cart, but he's missing both the arm and the head facing this direction. Since we have that extra head there, we're just going to mount that right onto that body, like so, and that'll fill in some of the top where we have some space there. So we'll do that now. We'll mount those up. So as you can see, we mounted the torso in association with that head. We took the staff that also was in the corpse cart. We glued up the entire end of it and jammed it down inside. So effectively what we got is a standard with another half course hanging off of it. And then on the back end, I added one more piece for some stability there, just to give it some structure and have something else to glue on to all these pieces. So with that there, we could fill all these gaps with green stuff, and it'd be perfectly acceptable, but I think this is stable enough that it won't fall if we drop it, and that attaches right to the front and some sort of horrifying corpse catcher cart thing, which makes Chaos just super happy. Now we took the other one and we mounted it pretty much the same way, adding in a couple of extra pieces. I was better at it this time than I was the first time because we'd already done one, but I cut the triangle piece there and then the other square piece to add onto it, glued on the two magnets that matched, glued on the pile of bodies. Then we added one more head to this torso here that carried over from the other side. We did the exact opposite with another torso here to connect to this head, but the legs didn't fit. So unfortunately, I had to cut the legs off so that this torso and this head could match, and it didn't stick up too far. I threw the legs over here, just as one extra piece sticking up, and then I took the extra half of the witch's head that we used there originally, and I cut the arm off as before and jammed it in here just to provide some background filler, and threw a spear through it as if it's impaled on the spear. So we've got a second corpse cart front here, so that gives us two of them. So effectively I've got a second Rhino here. This one's already painted and such, but it'll do for now to show off both corpse carts. What we ended up having left over was the original Dark Disciple, which we're going to use. And then I managed to keep two of the corpse pullers, which will turn into poxwalkers for Death Guard. They're effectively enough. I put an arm and a leg on them, and we'll mount them on a base, and they'll do in a pinch. So that is what we've got so far from the corpse cart. The rest of it we're going to save for a big kit bash project I've got in mind. But that effectively is what we managed to pull off. So if you thought this video was helpful and you liked it, please feel free to share it. It's a great idea if you've got a corpse cart hanging around. In my case, I had 2 of my gaming group had previously played Sigmar and they had them lying around, so they were easy to find. But you can always order one in if you really want a chaosy looking Rhino thing. Anyway, I think it looks great. So if you like this video, please feel free to leave a comment, leave a share, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you the next time we do a painting video.